Hi, my name is Sunil Ravulapalli. Today I'm going to show you how to create a token server using Identity Server 4. To begin, we can start with Visual Studio, create a new project, choose Web, and then choose ASP.NET Core Web Application. We'll use the full .NET framework. We'll name the solution ID test and then click OK. Once in there, choose Web Application. You don't need any authentication. Hit OK. Once Visual Studio finishes restoring all the packages, we'll open up the project.json. In project.json, we'll add a reference to Identity Server 4. We'll pick the latest release. This is August 2016. So as of today, the latest is beta 5. The reference, hit save. Then we'll see that Identity 4 is being restored. Next, we need to get a Pfx certificate. We can get one from the Identity 4 samples on GitHub from the people who made Identity Server 4. If you go to GitHub, search for Identity Server 4.samples. Under that, go to MVC and API, go to source, Identity Server, where you'll see a sample certificate which they provided. Today for test, we'll use the same thing. Click on that, click on View Raw, and then you'll see Identity Server 3 test downloaded. Copy that, and then you can paste that into your solution. Next, create a folder under the project called Configuration. Under Configuration, add 3 files. The first one is called client.cs. The second one is called scope.cs. The last one is users.cs. Next, we are going to set up some clients. Go to client.cs. I'm going to copy some code. You can get this code either from my blog or from the Identity Server 4 samples GitHub repo. Next, I'm going to fix a couple of references. The client we are setting up is a resource owner client. We need to come up with a secret and a client ID. Next, we are going to set up some scopes. Go to scope.cs. I'm going to copy paste some code from my blog. The scope we set up is API 1. Its display name is API 1. These are just descriptions, and then it's of the type resource. Next, we are going to set up some dummy users. Once again, I'm going to copy some code to save time. And fix references. So we set up a dummy user called Alice with a password Alice. Now all our configuration is done. We need to set up identity server in startup.cs file. First, let's add a private variable called environment of type iHosting environment. We'll get a reference to it in the constructor. Once that is done, we have to load the identity server Pfx certificate, which we downloaded before and added it to our solution in the configure services method. We'll fix the references where it can find the X509 certificate too. We'll add system.io to find the path class. Next, we'll have to configure the client scopes and users so that identity server knows where to find them. We'll do that here. We can say var builder is equal to services dot add identity server. We'll set signing credential to the certificate. Then we'll add some in-memory clients we set up. We'll add some in-memory scopes which we set up next. And lastly, we'll set up the dummy users we set up. I made a small mistake before in the clients.cs. I need to set this to INumeral of client. Similarly, I think I also made the same mistake in scope. So this returns scope. And finally, in the configure method, all we have to do is do app.use identity server. That's it. Just compile the whole solution to see if it works. And compilation successful, so we are ready to test the solution. Let's run the solution to see if it's working. Seems like it's having a problem loading the certificate. So this kind of thing happens for two reasons. One, the password could be wrong. Another reason I've noticed, sometimes when you download these from GitHub, last time we did was click on view raw data. You can also try download and copy that certificate, but in this case I think I typed the wrong password. When you go back the certificate and I check their startup, it looks like they swapped R and V, so we'll go back and fix that. Is actually SRV. So let's check that if it's working. Okay, good. Now we are up and running. To test the solution, I use something called Postman. It's an extension in the Google Chrome browser. In Google Chrome, if you click on apps, it'll take you all the apps you have. You can go to Web Store and find Postman. I already have it installed, so I'm going to open it up. In Postman, the first thing we need to do is add an authorization header. So we choose basic auth, and we get the username password we set up in the scopes, not scopes, clients. Our username, client ID is our client, and our password is made up secret. So we'll copy that and put it in Postman. And then our password is made up secret. Put it here. And then we update request. This added our authorization header to the request. Next, we'll set up one more header entry called accept, and we'll set that up to application/JSON. After setting up the headers, next we'll switch to body. Make sure the HTTP verb is post, and then go to headers and body. Set this to form URL encoded, and then we'll add an entry called grant type. Set that to password. Next, give it the username we set up in the fake users we have, which we set in the users.cs. The username is Alice, password is also Alice. Next, we add something called scope, and we can add scopes like built-in scopes like open ID, then space, profile ID. These are all built in. And then the one we added called API1, which we set up in the solution already. If you look at the solutions and scopes, we'll see the name of it. go back to Postman. The URL we need to post this request to is the identity server URL, which is, in our case, it is localhost 50334. We need to post this to an endpoint called connect/token. That should be the end of the setup. Let's hit send, and we are good. So the request posted to the endpoint connector token, we gave it all the parameters, and then we got a good response back. This is our access token. It expires in 1 hour, 3600 seconds. The token type is bearer. Cool. So this is a good starting point. In the next lesson, I will show you how to actually use this identity server programmatically. Thank you for watching.